This video is being recorded on the late evening of August 6, 2023. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you all had a great weekend. In this video, I'm just going to talk about gold and silver a little bit and the weekly outlook. So, starting off, and this format of this video will be slightly different than usual, but starting off here, this definitely caught my eye. I'm sure it caught yours as well. So even though the price action in precious metals has been negative to start August, I mean, you've seen some nasty selling to begin the month. Despite that, and when I look at the charts, if I'm just looking at the price action, I would by itself, I would have to think the path of least resistance in the short term is probably lower. However, that being said, you look at something like this, and this tells you that it wouldn't be a good idea to get all bared up in the short term. Now, looking at where the fund flows are, you certainly could see more outflows. I mean, it's possible that there could be more selling. But it looks like the outflows are slowing down a little bit. And, we did see significant outflows here. The longest streak of outflows since November 22, which at this point is not about 9 months since then. So we're not talking about a few weeks or a month or two. So I think this is something that obviously helps the market. It just tells you that the immediate selling power is less and less than at least what it was weeks ago. Now here's a chart. This is a bar chart because stock charts is still, they haven't updated. They're not showing the spot market chart. So this is from barchart.com. Like the look of it, actually. So this is a daily chart. You have the 200-day moving average here. And this is what sticks out is on the daily chart here. You have 1980 clear resistance. And then the support. So you have the 200-day moving average filling in here. This was obviously a significant low. A couple of bullish hammers here and there. So this is filling in here right around 1900. So if there's more selling, look for a test of 1900. Those candles that I'm talking about, I mean, you have this one here, and you did have, I guess this big move down was at the very end. There's the second to last day of July. So in particular, you have that, and then you have that. So this is going to provide some short-term resistance. I mean, looking here, again, this is supposed to be like a weekly outlook. 1960, 1940. So 1950, there is going to be some resistance at 1950. If gold can chew through that, then it has to contend with 1970. So because of this hard selling, I would say the path of least resistance is more likely to be down here than up here. But I could be wrong, and remember that last chart. So the selling pressure is clearly not what it was weeks ago. So we'll see. Those are the levels that I'm looking at. So that's to be conservative, that's the downside risk here as a test of 1900. The low here, you have the 200-day filling in. And then clearly 1980 is resistance. Now, some people might call this like a reverse head and shoulders. This isn't really a left shoulder. I mean, it kind of looks like it, but it's I don't want to get too technical, but other than looks, it's it doesn't really fit it for me. Another thing here, I mean, you see this potential right shoulder is lower here than the left, so that shows more weakness, in the price action. I mean, if gold had held here and it had already rallied back, you could say, yeah, it does kind of look like a head and shoulders. But in any event, if gold can get back to 1980. Then you can start thinking about, well, we have this setup here. This is $80, and then a break above here. You have a potential move back to the high. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Let me get into silver. And so this is the last chart. I'm not going to talk about the stocks, just because the action is really mixed, and it'll just be me babbling on, and I don't think I'm going to add that much value in this particular video. But silver, this is more formed as a potential head and shoulders pattern, because this kind of could be a left shoulder. This could be a head. And then you've already come up here once. And boy, silver here, I mean, it got pretty close to 26 here on the daily line chart. Would have loved to see it come up to 26. And even if it can just somehow rally back up to 26, while holding above here, even if it takes 2, 3, 4 months and you got to rally back up to 26, I mean, that's going to look pretty bullish. But again, recently, this is really disappointing how silver peaked here. You had a little selling, it tried to get back above 25 right here, and then boom, sold off. So 25 now is stiff resistance in the short term. So like I said in the last video for gold, similar thing for silver, where given this selling here, I would think that silver is more likely to come down and test this level before it breaks above 25. But that's just a guess. I mean, you could see a rebound. You could see silver rally back to 25 and then fail again potentially. So that's a scenario to keep an eye on. But, looking at the outflows in the market, that just means that, we shouldn't get all bared up. So that's all for this video. I mean, I know there wasn't anything truly groundbreaking in here. The action looks, it is mixed. And, getting back to gold, I mean, I don't have it here on this chart, but I do want to point out you have the stock market correcting. So the gold to S&P 500 ratio, that looks like it could, maybe stage a rally for a little while. So if the stock market continues to correct, that is going to be better for gold relative to the rest of the precious metal sector. So we'll see if that comes to pass, and gold will perform better. And obviously, if gold performs better, we hope the rest of the sector will perform better too. But we'll see. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you guys again in the next video.